We are literally in the middle of the podcast, Frank.
Sorry about that. But this box is for you. You're going to love this.
For me?
Well, it's for KFC.
Oh, great.
Kyle, it's for everybody. It's for
Great.
everybody on You Gotta Believe.
Okay.
It's a bobblehead that plays Narco.
Fuck yeah,
Oh,
dude.
awesome. Thank you, Frank.
Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this?
What's up, pal?
What's up, dude?
How you doing, man?
Doing great.
Bro, you're in like everything.
Shit. It's
been
a
a-
good year. Yeah.
I mean, a lot of work for you. You're
Yeah.
a lot
I mean,
of,
it's
a lot
dude,
of credits, dude.
Yeah, slow and steady. I mean, right now is a good time just with play Vince McMahon on Young Rock.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And then the Chippendale show comes out on Tuesday. No, I'm not one of the dancers. I just did Andy Cohen's Watch What Happens last night. And
Yeah.
and he was like, so do we get to see you in a thong? And I was like, play your cards. I just like, dude, you don't get, I was making a lot of weird jokes. I don't know if they're even going to air it, but.
I don't know. Andy lets it fly.
He does. He's got a good sense of humor.
Yeah.
And, and then, shit, I played Jamie Presley's ex-husband on the show called Welcome to Flatch. You watch that
Yeah,
show?
yeah.
And then obviously stand-up tour, podcast.
Man, it's all good.
Busy, but
Dude,
I mean,
that's
I'm preaching on the choir, talking about being busy with you guys. You know?
No, I disagree. Like
real.
we just got back from like a weekend road trip. We went out west.
Bro, we called it
And
a
like
tour.
and like
It was a weekend.
I'm
We went
fucking
one weekend.
done. I'm done.
Where'd you go?
We did Phoenix, Denver, LA.
Cool.
And like I'm fucking done, dude. Like,
Yeah,
I'm done
it
probably
was a
till
lot.
I'm not even gonna say till next year. Like probably till like next March.
Wow.
I'm just gonna chill.
It took it out of you.
Bro,
Fuck
God,
yeah, you are not
dude.
cut out for the road. You
lost
look like a
his
guy that's
voice.
built for the road. You look like a guy
Well-
that finds all the massage parlors that take Bitcoin.
No, it's weird. You are built for the road. Like you could survive on, fucking gummy bears and cigarettes.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but
Oh,
like
yeah.
you could
Mountain
could
Dew Code Red and
survive on the
Cheez-Its.
road, like fun wise. Like if you were just traveling and eating and drinking, you'd survive.
Yeah, if I-
sprinkle in a couple shows and we're
If
done.
I have to work, fuck that, dude. No
I mean,
way.
the road is, and that's why I like being in town to, do acting stuff is great. I mean, they're synonymous, acting and stand-up, right? It's like the more, obviously, of each, like hopefully things grow together. But I was doing some shows with Sal, Sal Volcano from the Practical Jokers. Yeah. Doing some shows with him this weekend and then coming here and then go to Memphis tomorrow to keep doing Young Rock. And it's a little crazy, but it's also like, you guys know this too. It's like you work to get busy so that, and then you're as busy as you like want to be, and then you're like, fuck, maybe it's too much. I don't want to die at 42.
Well, that's the thing, man. It's like, there's two different types of people, I guess. The people who are just like more and more and more, and because there's a point where, if you ask yourself like 18 months, 2 years, 5 years ago, whatever, you'd be like, all right, if I reach this, I'm done.
Yeah,
like, I'm good.
Yeah.
And you get there and you're like, all right, what's next,
Exactly. And even like last night, I shouldn't have done shows and gone out drinking, but I was like, I fucking like went in for Carpe Diem, dude, right? Get a doner kebab in the morning, and then, but also just like being in a place like this, and then when you have the opportunities to do like fun shows that like I hadn't been to the Cellar in a while, so I wanted to I don't know. I have a tough time saying no. I have FOMO.
Dude, I was just I got that vibe from you right away when you were like, well, I wasn't still gonna go out drinking, but I went out drinking.
Yeah.
We were talking about this like maybe 2 episodes ago. Where like I'd gone out like every night for like a month and a half straight because people just like it had not been my idea once.
Bro, I have
By the
never
way, are you a
seen
member
anyone-
of the O'Doyle Rules family from Billy Madison? Because you have a fun-loving like yes and I'll do anything, take my dick out vibe.
I've never seen anybody like we'll be up like like beginning of the day. We're both like, oh my god, I cannot wait. Like all we got to do is get to like 11 p.m. the show and the meet and greet will be done, and then we can get back to the hotel.
Yes.
And then 11 rolls around and somehow he's
Find
like,
a
we're going to
second
the
win.
bar.
Yeah.
We're going to,
So all it takes is
You know what it was? We were at the after party already. We were at like a rooftop bar, and we were like standing in a circle, like kind of like dancing, kind of just like, and I just said I was gonna order food. And that's all you needed for a second win. You were like,
oh yeah,
knowing that food
I don't
was
even remember
coming.
you saying it. I just remember
I
you
just showed you my
handed
phone.
it
Yeah.
to me. Yeah.
I said, put your
just
order in.
handed me a
Oh, yeah.
phone, and I was like,
And he was
see
like,
what's
let's
up,
go.
let's go, all right.
Also, everybody has that friend that's good at tugging at the heartstrings, the right heartstrings. Like, even the first time I did mushrooms, I didn't even want to do them. And my buddy, it was just like a Sunday night in college, and he was like, hey, man, shrooms tonight? I was like, fucking no, man. And then he was like, come on. And I was like, all right, and look at it from that angle. That's a good argument.
I hadn't thought of come on.
Yeah, come on is a great, are you in a debate squad? That was a great compromise.
That's all it takes.
Yeah, man. Well, big fan. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely.
very
much. Fucking rules.
Young Rock, I'd imagine, is a good gig to
Yeah,
get, right?
it's cool. It's obviously Dwayne's story is pretty bonkers. It's so funny how I think the first taste of my I didn't realize how much work went into who the person was the Seinfeld documentary comedian. You ever watch that?
No.
Oh, Seinfeld did this documentary where he basically a real loose slice of life where he's starting to build back an hour, and it's all around New York City, and it's
It's on Netflix, right?
I think so. It was shot in 98, 97, so it looks it's not pristine footage. But it's him in the clubs at the Cellar at Gotham, Broadway Comedy Club, and he's building his hour back. And it was the first time I was like, oh, he doesn't just walk up there and have. I don't know what I was thinking, but
just,
to get
snap your fingers.
Exactly, but to see him actually put in the work and become great again, and just kind of put one foot in front of the other. So Dwayne, I mean, same thing where you go, oh yeah, The Rock, he's always been always had his own tequila and been much of a juggernaut, but the story of how he really got went from want to be in the NFL and then didn't work out in college, and then from some injuries, and then wrestling, and then his dad's kind of path that kind of led him into it, and kind of their relationship, and just nothing's guaranteed, man. It's a lot of things.
Wrestling
went his way.
though is so funny. I loved watching his era, but Stone Cold made sense to me.
Yeah.
He was fucking chugging beers, middle finger to the boss, fuck the man. The Rock and Undertaker's obviously this fucking Undertaker character. Everyone kind of made sense. The Rock was this weird dude that it was just he just is great on the mic. His whole the eyebrow, the mutton chops.
Oh yeah.
He was flat wearing, it wasn't a slam dunk character.
Totally.
He just crushed it as who he was.
I think he separated himself with, like you said, being on the mic like that. And that's one thing we bonded over was
so awesome.
We started kind of sending voice notes back and forth when I first got cast about stand up, and he even shared one of my crowd work videos once. I was like, cool, man, if you want to do this every other week, that would really boost my numbers. and he's like, brother, I love the way you do crowd work. It's you have this hit 'em hug 'em mentality where he's like, you gotta fuck with people. He's like, I love that you fuck with people, but you're not a dick about it.
Yeah.
You're not trying to make them feel bad on the way out, which is what I've always tried to do.
It's a very fine
So he's
line.
like, you hit them and you hug them. He's like, you gotta fuck with people,
Yeah.
but you don't have to make them wish they didn't go out that night.
Yeah.
And he's like, I love crowd work because when I was in the ring, he's like, that was my favorite part.
Sure,
It was
that's
straight
what it
off
was.
script. And I'm like, dude, that's how you really kind of made a name for yourself too.
Dude, getting down with the guy.
Throw
The Rock.
around voice notes with Rock. First of all, just dropping Dwayne's on
I
us
know,
is
call him Dwayne.
is
Oh, yeah.
such a move.
Is that
DJ, but there's DJ Tanner, there's DJ Johnson, but you pick which one has more sentimental
Yeah, I
value.
mean that's a guy.
I haven't met Vince yet. I want to. I don't know if that's gonna happen,
Dude,
but
do you
that guy
know-
seems like he's in his bubble.
Do you know who Rob Brindamore is?
I thought you were gonna just call Vince right now. Who's Rob Brindamore?
He's the head coach of the Carolina Hurricane.
Okay.
Former NHL player. And he gave an interview last night, like a post-period interview kind of deal. And he walked away, and it's the most Vince strut I've ever seen in my life. Watch his walk down the hallway.
I thought you were gonna show me 2 Girls, 1 Cup.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God!
like him
look at
walking
that,
to the
dude.
ring.
That's like the 100%.
And for sure, knows what he's doing. He's
that.
like,
Yeah. Look cool, look cool.
Brindamore is like Vince McMahon. He's the biggest
Wow.
hardo around.
Yeah, I remember
he's
that
like
name growing up.
55 years old, fucking shredded. Probably one of the most jacked guys in the NHL right now, except he's the coach.
That was always Vince, man. The old man chest and body.
oh yeah, I mean, I try to beef up my shoulders for this season, but if we go into another one and it's truly, the era where he's veining out, fucking
I don't know how much
abs on his
how
tits.
much longer that.
Yeah, I mean,
that plays.
my mom was like, "Are you gonna shoot up?" And, I was like, "I'm gonna think about
How
it."
do you learn to roll like
I'll
that?
give you shoot up instructions. I've done it.
Okay, good. Have you really?
I've done steroids, not shot up.
Wow.
Yeah.
All
It's
right.
fun, bro. It's fun. You should do steroids, dude.
Yeah.
Strongly recommend.
It's gonna be a hard pass. But yeah, no, seems like it hasn't affected you at all.
All right, quick little pause here from our boys over at Movement. Movement, you know very well. They've been around with us since day one. They've been doing things differently since day one, creating watches with refreshingly clean designs, top-tier materials, and unbeatable prices. You are going to look like $1 million for less than $1 million. You can't really beat that. It is timeless timekeeping with a fresh look. Movement's designs come in countless styles for every single occasion. Funerals, we got to watch for you. Weddings, we got to watch for you. Hanging out around the town, watch for you. Work, watch for you. They got it all. You can shop with confidence. You enjoy a 24-month warranty, excuse me, free shipping and free return on orders over $50. That is a 24-month warranty, free shipping, and free returns on orders over $50. Watches were just the beginning for Movement's line. Now they have eyewear and jewelry. It's designed to set you apart for all the right reasons. You walk in, people go, that dude, like I said, looks like $1 million, and it ain't going to cost you that. With Movement's Everscroll eyewear, filter out the most intense blue light rays. We are all looking at our phones and our laptops nonstop every single day, so it's a pretty important thing. You can look your best while doing your best work. I have my glasses right here, my Blu-rays. Bang, not a big deal. You can be the good gifter with Movement this holiday season during their Black Friday seasonal sale. Get a special discount of 25% off site-wide with code BF25. That is not the code we are used to, but it is code BF25. I'm guessing it stands for Black Friday 25% off. It makes a lot of sense. It's just in time for the holidays. Join the movement today at mvmt.com. That's mvmt.com.
Did it affect your sweater choice, or were you already on point with that?
Dude, this
I'm
is
a
a Taylor
big
Swift
fan of
sweater,
that.
bro. Come on.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's the Evermore folklore sweater. Had to wear it today for good vibes to get tickets.
By the way, it looks great.
Thank you.
No part of me thought that was a woman's sweater. I mean, a large part of me did, but I also wasn't.
That's okay.
Let me rephrase. No part of me was judging you for wearing a woman's sweater. It's a
I'll
very
be straight
seamless
up, the buttons are on the
transition.
wrong side.
Yeah,
I've
for
I've
sure a
actually-
female sweater.
I've actually never buttoned it before, and this morning I was like, "What the fuck is going on?"
so
Bro, I think I
weird.
prefer it buttoned. I prefer it buttoned. Like I now have a whole stance
It
on it.
is
Yeah,
like it
but
falls off a lot when it's
When
not
you
buttoned.
when it's switched though, it's like I'm like, oh
Yeah,
I
it's
can't button
really
this.
it's actually a custom sweater, so it's not women's or men's. But I don't know why the buttons are on the wrong
Who
side.
got you that?
My sister got me for my birthday.
Did she make
Sweet.
it?
She had like someone she knows knit it.
But that person definitely thought it was for a woman.
I don't think so. I mean, she knew my size. It's like, no, my sister told her it's for my brother. Because the official sweater has a lot of silver stars on it. She took that off.
By the way, this
that's
is when
a
your
good
audience is tuning out. By the way. You asked me when I got the job. It's a funny story, actually. So I auditioned for it, and then The Rock actually started following me on Instagram one day because I posted this. You know, once COVID hit, it was about late March, and I was like, fuck, man. Like, there was truly, we gotten past that hurdle of like, oh, we might not perform again. There were definitely a handful of comics, at least I was talking to, that, you know, are pretty active that were like, fuck, man. Like, there was just no sign of like, July, things are, you know, it was truly, I'm sure you guys felt that too, where you're like, oh, is there going to be no entertainment business? Which was a crazy thing to you know,
Oh no,
jump
we
to conclusions.
came back in July.
You did, yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of ignored everything.
No
Said,
testing,
fuck
no
it, let's
vaccines.
go.
Wait, what was going on again?
Yeah, we were back full in office in July.
Yeah. I always thought COVID 2 sounded like the name of an autistic kid that Tobey Maguire was going to play in a movie someday. So I wasn't too afraid of it. But when it shut down, I was like, I got to start posting more just stuff, more content, just to kind of like do whatever, even if it's just little jokes or whatever. So I saw this article about Gwyneth Paltrow selling her vagina candles. And they sold out in like 12 minutes. So I was like, oh, who's the male equivalent that should like get on this now? So I made some post about it and said, you know, Rock, you should get some, you know, dick and ball candles going. And I never tagged the person in it, so I tagged them in it. It was pretty baked, and I was just like, whatever, this is kind of funny. And it started getting a lot of, you know, because it was right when it went up. So it was almost like I was breaking news with just the item itself, and people started commenting on it. And then I started getting all these DMs being like, hey, how do you know The Rock? And I was like, well, everybody knows The Rock. And then I look at the comments, and then he had commented like, you know, brother, like, I've been trying to get that going, but I keep dipping my balls or burning my balls in the wax, blah, blah, blah. Big fan, keep it up. And then he followed me. And so then I fucking threw a Hail Mary on first down and was like, you want to do my podcast? And then fucking radio silence for like 8 months. And I was like, fuck, dude, I jumped the gun. And then I randomly get this like 5-minute voice note from him on my birthday as I'm home in Seattle opening socks for my mom and stepdad. Shout out to George. And it's like from him, and I was like, get the fuck out of here. He's apologizing for not getting back sooner. Never checks his DMs. Man, been following you for a bit. You're hilarious. Blah, blah, just real sweet words. And then like, you know, let me know when things calm down. Let's get some Terramana. And then again, I'm just like, here's my number, man. Like I can fly back tonight if you want. You know. And then
do literally anything you want.
anything you want. You are in the driver's seat, dude. You want to go rob a Baskin Robbins? I'm in. And so then we kind of stayed in touch, and I got the audition, and then I went to Chappelle. He was doing that camp in Ohio, little where his compound. I was doing a bunch of shows, so I went for a weekend, and I had sent an audition in, and then I'm literally you know, taking a poo, and I get a text from him that says, yo, it's DJ, call me back. So I was like, all right, I'll call him right now. So I call him, and he's just like, give me your best Vince McMahon impression. And I was just like, you're fired. And I did that, and he was like, congrats, brother, you got the job. And then we talked for like 2 hours, man.
Really?
About like comedy and sports and like single mom life and like, I mean, it was crazy, dude. Like the guy, I felt like I'd known him for 30 years. I mean, it was like a really
Holy
like,
shit.
Oh, it was very, overwhelming as how just chill he was. I'm like, how are you doing? You know, and even having an opportunity to like fan out or whatever was not even there because it was just like we just jumped around like the way that we're talking right now. Like if he was sitting right here, like he'd just be a part of the
Dude, I'm surprised you lasted. Like if that was me, I'd get so nervous. Like I'd Costanza the conversation. Like, I would try and get out. I would not last 2 hours.
That's enough.
Every window I had, I'd be like, all right, I'll catch you later.
You don't want to overstay your welcome.
I don't want to take up your time. I know you're a busy man.
Well, no, I did that probably 3 or 4 times. Where it was like I was like, all right, one more thing. And just got but then whatever it was, he like, and I think he had the time. He, you know, more often than not, does not have the time for that. But I, you know, it was the initial call.
It's good that like you know I would imagine someone of his caliber can do a million projects, slap his name on something, and it'll be a success, you know, regardless.
Yeah, he
But
might
it's
be
cool to know
cloned
that
too.
he's,
There might
like-
be multiple of him. running around.
I think at this point, you've added to a laundry list of people who I've run into who've had some
Oh, this is
connection to
real.
him. No, I'm just saying everybody
Oh,
I've
yeah.
ever met who's known him
Yeah,
is like he's as
got glowing things to
yes.
say. Yeah.
And I am just trying to get somebody to say one bad thing about him. Nobody will. Nobody can.
Yeah.
We're at the point where I have no other choice. It's the only logical conclusion. He has to be a serial killer. Like there has to be something that balances it all out. And then behind closed doors, he's a mass murderer.
Yeah.
Because nobody can just be that cool,
Yeah, I
successful,
know, it's tough.
rich, hot, strong.
I mean, look at Will.
and nice.
Will
and,
Smith
and,
had us all going for a while.
Yeah,
It was like one little
That's what I
slip up.
mean.
Yeah.
Like
But even Will Smith there were the Scientology rumors. We were like,
Oh,
all
that's
right, there's
right.
a little
That's
something
right.
here.
There's
There was
nothing with
smoke and fire.
Yeah.
Dwayne. There's nothing with Dwayne. He's just fucking cool.
Yeah.
All the way around.
All
in
the way
every
around.
And you never hear about, except for Vin Diesel, the only person that there's even a little tiff with, and I'm pretty sure everyone is just signing.
Who doesn't have a tiff with Vin Diesel?
Come
Where's-
on.
Where's my Vin Diesel cam? Yo, Vin, you didn't accept my Facebook friend request, man. What the fuck, dude?
Oh, I think that's wrong. He has the most Facebook friends.
Yeah, he
was-
dominates Facebook.
He's like
he
the,
does?
Yo, he was like the face. He
He was like the first guy
He
ever
was like
on
the
Facebook.
first celebrity to like embrace Facebook.
What?
He has like I'm gonna check his friends right now. Vin Diesel was like the Facebook.
There
king.
was a
Don't you
time,
get
I don't know
capped at
anymore.
5,000?
No.
Maybe
his
it's
fan
like
page, fan page,
yeah.
There was a time where I think he was like the biggest Facebook
Dude,
guy.
he was like almost like an internet troll before like trolls were a thing, where he would like just post like videos on Facebook of him just like singing Rihanna alone in a room, and people were like, "Hell yeah!" Vin
Oh,
Diesel."
my
He's a weird cat.
So he's on there being like, yo, hit me up. I respond to all my DMs. Is that Vin Diesel or Stallone? I can't tell.
Yo,
By the way, did you
yo.
guys see-
You're not gonna guess, bro.
Oh, how many?
How
he
many
has? Let me
fucking-
guess.
I just-
it's in the
I
millions
just-
for sure if he's got the most.
Where's it? Okay, I got it. How many followers does Vin Diesel have on Facebook?
It's I want to say 20 million.
106.
It's a large
What
ass
is he
country,
doing?
man.
Is that why he put out an album? He just was like trying to
Yeah,
capitalize on the
I
followers.
think so.
Probably.
That's
Did you ever
where he
listen to
started
it?
Singing.
Dude, he had one
I listened to
song
one song that kind of
that
went.
was
Both you
kind
guys
of like
are like,
a vibe.
I wouldn't fuck to it, but I definitely showered to
Dude,
it.
the one that played on Kelly Clarkson Live.
Yeah, it was.
Kinda
I was
fire,
kind of
bro.
like, all
Vin
right.
Diesel performed his song in front of Kelly Clarkson. Do you know what she was
Simulation
going
is
through on the
broken, man.
inside? Being like, fuck, dude, there are downsides to having your own show. Where you think you get to make all the bookings and call all the
Listen,
shots.
you bite your tongue, man. Vin Diesel is royalty in this room, all right? That's one guy we should aspire to get on.
Yeah.
Bro, 1,000%.
He would be a trip.
I
man.
mean, another guy where you just go, fuck, dude. I mean, like, you get to a certain point. Like, that's why I never knocked, when, like, even Lindsay Lohan was trying to do an album or all these people, it's like, dude, you get to, or even some of these, Steve-O, who's a good bud, when he started jumping into stand-up, most comics are like, yeah, fucking go for it. The work, it's one of those professions where there's no replacement for the work. So it's like, if you think you're going to ride,
you have to.
you have to put in
prove
the
it.
hours,
Yeah.
hit the road, get in sets around town. Your celebrity will, get you a nice boost, but there's still, you can't get laughs based on that.
Right.
Dude, Tyler had one of our buddies had like a Twitter thread recently of all like the people who got albums in the 90s.
Oh my God.
It's crazy.
Oh
dude.
God.
Like
All the actors you're saying.
if you're a
Yeah,
celebrity
like
in the 90s,
non-singers.
you had an album.
Yeah.
Like it was
Like
crazy.
names you wouldn't even
Athletes.
like.
Jessica Simpson, right? Athletes.
The athletes had albums.
Yeah, no, it
Fucking,
wasn't
like,
even singers. It was just like
Joe Pesci.
people
Do you know
you
Joe
would-
Pesci's got an album? You know
Get the
Tim.
fuck outta
You
here.
know Tim McCarver, the baseball commentator.
Don't just
He's
skip
got-
over
he's
Joe.
in the
Pe-
musical
Don't
outfit.
just skip over the sentence. Do you know Joe Pesci has an album and then go right to Tim McCarver? Jesus Christ, as if like that was a bigger
Can we
deal.
hear Joe Pesci's music?
Yeah, put it up.
Well, I
I'm
guess
gonna
Tim
try and-
McCarver has
we'll
a
have
band.
we'll have to
Dude,
cut it out of.
it's like he has like a jazz
He's one of
album.
my favorite commentators.
yeah, Tim McCarver.
I mean, like Harry Connick makes sense because I think he was a
Yeah,
singer
he-
and actor at the same time. Maybe singer first.
I'm gonna pull up the thread right now. Yeah, here it is. Okay.
Pesci just singing like feelings. Not that. Is it just like covers or
Let's
what's
see,
he doing?
This is a song.
Jeremy Renner, you know he's got an album.
Oh yeah.
Heaven Don't Have a Name.
How
I'm
about
look,
this?
Dennis
I'm pretty
Quaid,
sure
Kevin
Joe
Bacon.
Pesci has multiple albums.
Yeah, I bet he does.
I
Yeah,
think he
that's
has
the
a
one.
ton.
That's when I saw that cover.
God.
Dude, I mean, you could do this with Cole Beasley has an album. Kobe has an album. Tony Parker has an album.
I remember Kobe had a song Kobe with Tyra Banks on it.
Awesome.
That song was a banger.
Imagine
Oh, Jackie Chan's got an album called The Boy's Life.
Turn it on. Turn it on. Turn it
This
on.
is a song called
Saturdays for the Boys by Jackie Chan.
Baby Girl by Joe Pesci.
I imagine he's just doing music, right? Is he singing too?
He's doing himself a huge disservice if he's.
Maybe everyone should get an album.
I
I mean, Tony Danza has
well,
an album.
it,
He's
it,
a
it,
a
it
jazz
does make
standards.
sense. Some, a lot of people, you grow up in the industry. Like, if you're really in the industry, you probably were like, I gotta be a singer, I gotta be a dancer, I gotta be a triple threat, I gotta be this, that, and then maybe you find your
Yeah.
lane. And you're like, all right, I'll just do mob movies.
Yeah.
But it's like that doesn't mean I can't. It's like when you find out your favorite like comedy actor actually like went to Juilliard and is like classically
Totally.
trained, and it's like, oh, I thought you were just like
Like Robin
fucking around with
Williams,
friends.
man. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Fucking crazy. I just saw your Dwayne tweet back there. Next year, Camille was Camille in here too.
Yeah.
Amazing.
We're
I
good
met her
friends.
when Mark Sanchez and I had a sports comedy podcast for Showtime
yeah?
Sports. Short-lived, and then Showtime was just like, we don't need the comedy. Let's just have Mark talk X's and O's. Big bummer. It was a lot of fun, but we went down to the Super Bowl and did Miles Teller and a bunch of guys, and then and Camille.
Camille's awesome.
Couldn't have been cooler, and taught us how to do the. It was a fun thing. The model face, where it was like the with the what was the whole thing? It was like. It was kind of like squint your eyes and then act like you were like hungry and then put your lips together and then think about like your dad and a weird, I don't know. Whatever the way to get there was like, she had a whole formula to it.
Yeah, I'm
but
sure.
cool as shit.
For her, it's also just like,
Yeah, I mean, there's
This
no.
is the model
yeah.
face.
I think she was trying
This
to
is
like,
how I do it.
just give us something to do.
Yeah.
This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. Unfortunately, life doesn't come with a user manual, so when it's not working for you, it's normal to feel stuck. We've talked about that pretty extensively on this podcast. Navigating any of life's challenges can make you feel unsure, whether it's a career change, a new relationship, or becoming a parent. Therapists are trained to help you figure out the cause of challenging emotions and learn productive coping skills, which makes therapy the closest thing to a guided tour of the complex engine called you. It is actually very awesome when you're in therapy and you're talking to your therapist and they get you better than you get you. It's a really relieving and kind of aha moment. We're like, oh, all right, I'm not crazy. I'm not out of this world. Like, people understand me. I am having emotions that people get. I don't feel as out of control as I usually do. As the world's largest therapy service, BetterHelp has matched 3 million people with professionally licensed and vetted therapists available 100% online. Plus, it is affordable. All you have to do is fill out a brief questionnaire to match with a therapist. If things aren't clicking, you can very, very easily switch to a new therapist anytime. It could not be simpler. There are no waiting rooms, which is always awkward. I don't know if you've been in inpatient therapy. I don't know if that's exactly what it's called, but in-person therapy. The waiting rooms can get a little awkward, particularly if you're in a practice with multiple therapists. Kind of just looking around the room like, what's this guy got? There's no traffic, no endless searching for the right therapist. Learn more and save 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/KFC. That's betterhelp.com/KFC.
Big Sonics fan.
Die
rest in
hard.
peace.
From Seattle. Grew up there. Moved to LA in
What a
2001.
tragedy. One of the strangest tragedies in sports because it's just so blatantly obvious that it's a market that it could thrive in, yet it was taken away and then has not been expanded back into.
Yeah,
You know
it
what I mean?
sucks. You want to talk about my parents' divorce next? But yeah, it was, dude, it was
if,
awful.
if you could fix which would it be?
Give me Sam Perkins.
Absolutely.
I'll take Sam Perkins over the reconcile of my folks' marriage any day of the week.
Give me Detlef Schrempf, John Kemp, Gary Payton, Big Smooth.
Bro,
Let's go.
It was. I mean, basketball's my favorite sport. Obviously, I got more into college football. I went to SC during the Pete Carroll years, right? So 0-5. And then he came up to Seattle and turned our shit around. So, and I became more of always an NFL fan, but basketball was what I played and what I wanted to, go pro in. Got a bunch of dumb jokes about being quick fat. I was like a fat, my coach called me Krispy Kreme Abdul-Jabbar. And I was dominant though. Truly, there was this game. I should tell this whole story. We were playing this all-black team from Linwood, and we matched up in this tournament. And I must have had 20, 10 and 8, and I hit the sky hook from about 12 feet out to put us up by 6 to win the game. And I'm jiggling down court. My titties are hitting me in the face. Smell like Pop-Tarts and mac and cheese when I sweat. And the coach of the opposing team goes, "Man, that fat motherfucker's killing us." And I'm like, I think he's talking about me because I do have a triple-double. I'm about to smash a double-double. And so when the Soups left, and so obviously when you're a kid and that's your sport, whatever the pro version
Is that
of
what
that.
you called them, the Soups?
Oh yeah.
I never
Soups, yeah.
wondered. Yeah.
Did I just say that without?
Yeah.
Wow, yeah.
But wait, do you call them that or everybody called them that?
Everyone's Seattle, yeah, the
Soups.
Soups, yeah.
Interesting.
And I had Kemp on my podcast about last night. I went to Kemp's weed store in Seattle and did a whole 2-hour pod with him. GP's done it. It's those guys are such legends and are so, they've definitely.
They were fucking good,
bro.
They just ran into MJ. I mean, didn't they win almost 60 games? They were
bro. We had
unbelievable.
9 seasons in a row of 58 to 60 plus wins.
Yeah.
What sucks, and GP talks about this on end. Is that they didn't run it back that year after. Kemp, I think, had 26 and 12 in the finals, and then they didn't pay. They couldn't pay everybody. They could have done some things different. They actually probably could have stepped up and paid Kemp, but because they both needed to get paid, and they just paid Gary, Kemp knew he wasn't going to get what he got paid in Cleveland. And so I don't judge him. It's like he had to go get his money. But the fact that the Sonics, the organization didn't go, we just were a game away from, or 2 games away from winning the finals, and this team finally got over the playoff hunt is cooking. Yeah. Bring it all, because everyone came back except for Kemp, and then we brought in Vin Baker, and they started working at Starbucks, and then it was sad, man.
And then they just got yanked away, right? It was
yanked away, man. It was
it wasn't like it had attendance dropped. Had was it a problem?
No, it was
because it always felt like
any
right
sport.
away the fans were like, "What the fuck?"
It kept being peppered out there, where it was the team's gonna go, and then this Oklahoma City owner came in and was David Stern owed him, because he had taken the Thunder.
Stern?
Yeah, they'd taken Stern, giant piece of shit. I mean, rest in peace, but also rest in hell. But no, guy's fine. But he definitely had a big. Stern did a lot for the game. I'll give him that. But he fucked this up, man. And he and it was deliberate. He had a little bit of some animosity towards the city of Seattle because. He came in trying to be like, yo, you guys should build a new arena. You've had this arena since 95. Everyone's updating with not just Panda Express, but now we got fucking Katsuyas in all the arenas. You got to upgrade. And Seattle was like, we just did a football and baseball stadium. We're not going to tax the people on more shit. And Stern was like, well, then fucking suck my dick and lick my ass, and we'll see what happens.
Crazy.
I'm paraphrasing. He didn't say that, but he said something to that effect. And then Oklahoma City guy had moved the Hornets to Oklahoma City during Katrina.
Yeah.
Katrina's really the fault for all this.
Thrived, right?
Yeah, and then they
so
thrived.
well.
So Stern was like, dude, you saved us. I
Yeah.
got you. And he's like, I want a team. And instead of just expanding, he's like, I'm going to make example of what of teams that don't want to step up. And so and also a lot of things had to go down. And Howard Schultz, who started Starbucks, bought the team. It was a hobby. He was losing money, and he found a guy that was going to give him a bunch of money back, but clearly had no intention of keeping the team here. He would propose these things like, I want to build an arena in Auburn, Washington, which is what's 3 hours from here right now?
DC?
Sure. Okay, let's say that. Let's say somebody's like, I'm going to fucking build a new arena for the Knicks and put it in D.C.
Yeah.
And you're like, huh? He's like, I tried. That's basically what he did, because he was like, it's going to be the furthest away. And he was like, and it's $900 billion. And we're like, that's impossible. He's like, all right, well, I'm going to Oklahoma City then. Kind of what happened, and pretty crazy. And
I didn't realize all that. I'm not much of a basketball guy, so I actually have always. I'm glad you explained this because I've always thought of Supersonics fans as whiny little bitches, where it's
no, they got
where it was
fucked.
it's well, I'm in almost like Rams fans, but no one complains about the Rams because no one went to the games,
Right.
And I was just
No,
assumed
the
well, no one was
Sonics
going.
I love that you said that,
rabid.
by the way, as you kind of adjusted your sweater. You're like, I always thought of them as whiny little bitches. Sorry, my woman's sweater's kind of falling down. Yeah, but no, I hear you.
Back up on my shoulders.
Didn't Durant technically get drafted by the Sonics?
Oh yeah,
He played
and
a year
Westbrook,
there,
Did he
man.
play? Did he play a season?
Durant was
or no?
Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
The
On
first
the
year.
Sonics,
yeah.
right?
And
Yeah.
was just
What could have been, man?
Oh,
my
dude,
God.
I remember going to games back home over the holidays, which was always the best part about going back that time, was hitting like 3 or 4 games and just being like, all right, we're on. This is the guy that's going to turn things around.
Yep.
Because now he's going to be the face of the league, and then other guys like any sport are going to want to come play with him. Anyway.
Crazy. The whole thing's crazy.
The whole thing's crazy.
Especially
Sports.
moving. I get like when they did the test with Katrina that like the city worked, but it's like you don't need to have Oklahoma City represented. You know what I mean?
No.
It's like
Yeah.
It doesn't like they moved it to a major spot.
Yeah.
But that's a heartbreaking. So did you follow them?
I followed players, and then I followed. I became somewhat. I was in LA during the Kobe Shaq years, and so it was fun to watch games consistently on TV all the time.
Yeah.
But now
never
just
the
follow
same.
players.
It's hard to make that transition. Like once you're in college.
But yeah,
like,
once you're old enough, I feel like I could be like, I have a minor interest in one. I feel like if my team moved once that regime like was gone, I'd be like, then I'm done.
Yeah, it was.
I'll play it out with these guys that I've been rooting for, but then that's it.
Exactly. And I don't know. There was so much. It was also a nice break from, the emotional wear and tear that comes with like watching your team so consistently. Like even like when the when the Seahawks were so bad, it was nice to have like my Sundays open again. And then with Russ, it was like, all right, I know we're probably probably not going back to the Super Bowl, but at least like every Sunday matters. But there's so many things that I got to open myself up to. Like, when I was in LA, I always wanted to go to a taping of The Price is Right. And I went with a big group of guys, maybe 25 dudes. And you're guaranteed one guy, if you go, to get on contestants row if you go with 20 or more. So we go, and it was a primetime show. It was Bob Barker hosting.
Hell yeah.
R.I.P. No, wait, Bob's still
No,
alive.
it's still kicking.
Yeah, Bob's one of the tricky ones.
Everybody does that, by the way.
Yeah.
Bob, just fucking, are you still around? Like, prove it.
I think Bob is a very smart man.
Oh, brilliant.
I think Bob lays low.
Because of why?
I just think that Bob and his beauties and his. I just feel like the era he's from. I feel like it's
Stay
better
out of
that
the
he
limelight.
Just stays
dude.
quiet because
Makes
if
let
Bob's
everyone
out
think
here,
you're dead.
Yeah, right. Because if Bob
Better
was
to-
making
oh my
like
God,
$1
he
billion
loves that we think
on
he's
books
dead.
and shit, I think that there would be some people just who have some stories. That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh my God.
That's just I'm speculating.
Yeah, Beauty leaves the house. She's like, remember, I'm dead.
Yeah.
Remember, you weren't here because I wasn't here. Ooh. He's like, sorry, I didn't need to do that. But you get the point.
He was the man.
So we go to the taping, and it's prime time, so it's 8:30. So the prizes, instead of like a dinette set right out of the gate, are like an Escalade and a fucking trip to the Bahamas. Like everything's up.
I
a notch.
remember those.
Crazy. And so we go and we're all, screaming, and we're all fucking on, edibles and been drinking all day. And you stand in line, first of all, because they have somebody come through. Have you guys been to a taping ever? No. Gotta go. When you come to LA, hit me up. We'll fucking go. And you're standing, because it's just the energy of the set is pretty cool just to see it. And so we're standing in line, and they have 3 producers, and they ask you a quick question. Why do you want to be on The Price is Right? Most people are like, I drove all the way from Duluth, and Bob Barker's he's my Jesus Christ, and I love him so much. I don't know, tell him what I'll do to him if I see him live. And they're like, oh, that's so sweet. We'll put you down as a possibility. And my friend Jeff Neiman gets on there, and he goes, and he's hammered, and he just goes, I'll suck his motherfucking dick. And they go, all right, it's probably going to be a pass on you, sir, but thank you for the honesty. And we're all looking at him like, dude, you probably just blew it for the rest of us. Yeah. And so then one of our buddies got called up, and it was the last chance, and he got $1. And it was we all went nuts. It was like, first of all, a bunch of Jews at a pricing game. The joke writes itself because it was all from our Jewish frat at SC, and she $1 us, and she even turned around because we were making a lot of noise. There's this little Vietnamese woman, I'll never forget it,
that.
and she was like this. She
$1
looked like Yoda, and
motherfuckers.
she turned around, and she was like $1, Bob, and we were like, fuck you, and it was crazy, dude. But it was also so funny. Everything that was happening was so funny. I was like, I can't believe I'm a part of a $1 debacle.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
that's awesome.
I've dreamt about this.
Yeah.
And
we had a guy here who he got on stage. He made it up. I don't know if
the story continues.
Oh, yeah.
So our guy gets called up, doesn't win. Now it's Showcase Showdown. I'm sitting there with my buddy Mitch, and I'm on the aisle, and I go, dude, what a waste of a day, man. He had one shot to get up. And he goes, you should rush a stage during the Showcase Showdown. Whoever wins. I go, and he was like, come on. I was like, all right. So there's this big black dude named Daron and a little old woman named like Ethel. She's 75, 80. And Daron wins. And my buddy just pushes me out of my seat, and I run down the aisle. And by the way, you can't run down the aisle without hearing "Come On Down" in your head. Yeah. So I start doing just to myself whatever "Come On Down" dances. So I just start going like that. And I was like, fucking like doing that, running down. And then I get to the stairs at the front of the stage, and there's a security guard at the top of the stairs you can't see on TV. So I run up the stairs. And by the way, all his friends are on the other side of the set. And so I run up, and she's like, "What are you doing?" I go, "That's my best friend in the whole world." And she was like, "All right, that checks out." I run past. I'm on stage. I'm like hugging all his friends. I sat in the escalator, pretended to fucking drive it. There's video of me at the end. I told part of the story on stage of the Improv and found the clip because it was deep on YouTube. There's a shot at the end of me like doing the robot behind Bob Barker as he's like, "Remember, I get your pets spayed neuter, cut off their clits and their cocks, right?" And I'm like doing this, and I'm waving to the crowd. I'm like, "Hi, Mom," you know, all that. And it was bonkers, dude. And I remember hugging the kid, and he was like, "Did you just rush the stage?" I was, "Yeah." He's like, "That's fucking awesome." I was like, "Congrats on the prizes, man." He's like, "Yeah, man." He's like,
I mean, that's got to be number one.
the energy.
I'm a Jeopardy like purist, so I think like winning Jeopardy
really?
is like. Well, I mean, I just love Jeopardy. I love the champions. I love like the legit. To me, those guys are like fucking athletes, where I'm like
Totally.
rattling off their stats and
Mental
shit.
athletes.
But like a number one like fun thing to have happen, win like enough to be in the showcase.
Yeah.
So you've already won.
Yes.
You get the spin.
I love that.
You make it to the showdown, and then you win it. That's like.
And you get a win spin,
walk
maybe.
off.
Like if you come away
Yeah.
with something from the spin,
Oh my God!
always an extra.
If you hit $1 on the wheel, I mean,
yeah.
and then if you hit the second
Your
one,
DMs are gonna be
forget it.
full. Yeah.
Oh my God, I can't even believe.
Wait, so Jeopardy? So is that like you want to go on?
Oh no, I could never go on.
You would be a good host for Jeopardy though.
I would.
Because you would bring a nice,
I couldn't even.
bro. You would bring a nice like just a different vibe to it.
We could switch it up.
But you still have like host abilities.
I always did like how smug Trebek would get sometimes when people got wrong
1000%.
answers. I think I'd be that
Trebek
guy.
was
Like,
a gangster.
no,
Yeah.
no, not even close.
He wanted to do that, and he did it in a subtle way. I remember there's I posted this clip. Man, it was probably 2 months before he passed. And this girl, and he was like, "So I hear you guys got married, and it was a Star Wars themed wedding." And even just the way he said it, you could tell like, oh, he's got a couple locked and loaded to fucking shoot a couple truth darts to shoot at her heart, as far as just to take her down a peg. And she was like, "Oh yeah, Alex, it was it was it's a lot of fun. It's me and my husband, Gary. Gary, where are you? He's dressed as Boba Fett right now. We can't turn it off. We're big fans, and we had a bunch of stormtroopers, and our ring bearers were Ewoks, and legit, we hired dwarfs. It was expensive, but worth it, and we were a very happy couple." And Alex just goes, "Nerd alert."
Yo, yes. I remember
Fucking
that.
losers. Fucking losers. I mean, it just, and then he also says it, and they cut back to the woman. She was like, "Yeah, we had a good time." You know? and then Alex was like, "Nerd alert." And he's like, "All right, back to the board for Double Jeopardy." Like, he just goes right back into the gameplay, which is the most gangster shit to be like, you fucking.
What I loved about him, he didn't like. He just kept to Jeopardy, you know. He probably maybe a couple cameos here and there or something, but he never like was in a movie or did a this or that or a show. It was just like, this is what I do. I read these cards. I do my
So
my French Canadian accent.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's
yeah.
all I got.
He was a G, man.
And there's that fucking bitch Pat Sajak across the way.
Not a Sajak fan.
I mean, if you're a Trebek fan, you got fuck Sajak. You
man,
know,
dude.
come on.
Yeah, that's
Vanna
like,
does all the work.
I
Vanna
never got
does all
into
the
this
work.
world. I feel like so many people are like in these worlds. I never even did like Price is Right. Like I know that's like a thing. Like
best.
when you were sick, you stayed home, you watched Price is Right.
Bro, it was incredible in the
I
heyday.
just watched Sports Center 10 times.
Yeah.
Of course.
I never.
But it was
did
good because
the-
it was 11 for me. So like 11 a.m. is like that's really legit when you've watched Sports Center like 15 times.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then
yeah.
You can switch over.
Who were your Sports Center guys when you guys were like? I feel like high school was right as when you like watched it like
No,
religiously.
I can remember. No, because I was probably like in elementary school when those guys were really cooking. Like I was.
Are we all about
watching-
the same age? 40.
I'm 30.
34.
I'm about to be 38.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking like back to.
Eisen and Patrick.
Yeah,
Yep.
Eisen
Stuart
Patrick,
Scott.
Stu Scott,
Steve Levy.
even like Keith Olbermann and
Olbermann.
Craig Kilborn,
Wow,
those guys. Were,
cool.
like that was like
Kenny
like,
Mayne.
Kilborn's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love Kenny Mayne.
Kenny Mayne's so good.
Kenny Mayne.
Kenny Mayne. Let me.
God, that was I don't know what happened like to ESPN, and I'm sure the industry changed or whatever, but that formula should have that should still exist.
Yeah.
Like
Dude,
there
it
sh- I,
was-
mean, I guess that's kind of what podcasts are almost. It's like
Totally.
you have these duos that have great chemistry.
Well,
but
so many sports shows now. I mean, truly, like I never saw that coming. I mean, there was a time when it was just Sports Center, right? We didn't have a.
You know what sucks? I actually knew way more about sports. This is kind of the opposite. And maybe I'm alone in this because I guess because of the internet you can consume everything.
Yeah.
But I just consume like my teams. But I used to wake up in the morning, put on Sports Center, and I could tell you the score of like
I
the
could tell you the roster
Bucks
of
Sonics
every
game. You know?
fucking
Wasn't
team.
it awesome?
Yeah.
I can tell you the roster of
And
every
now
team.
it's just like
They were thorough,
I check my
too.
Mets highlights, my Knicks highlights.
Now it's
and
overwhelming.
Jets
Now
highlights, and that's it.
Like now it's like I actually feel like you can't just learn A little bit on every team. It's like everyone's like, here are the deep analytics of the Seattle Kraken.
I just want to know who the.
I don't want to know all that shit.
Yeah, I used to know like hockey highlights, hockey names, and because you would just watch, half hour or whatever, over and over and over again, so it would get beat into you, and like I would know everything, and now it's actually a shame. I know how little I know. Like
I've gotten far more specific with all the like I listen to just Bruins podcasts. I don't listen I listen to Chicklets here and there when I listen to podcasts, but like I listen to like a Bruins podcast twice a week. Yeah, and it's just like that's my team. I don't need to know about fucking everybody.
That's your team. Are you a big Boston guy?
I'm Boston. Yeah,
everything.
Yeah,
you'll love this. I did the roast of Big Poppy in 2016.
Oh, you did with Josh Wolf?
Yes.
Yeah.
Josh Wolf.
We said Josh.
One of my best buds.
Yeah, he brought it up. He was saying how wild that was.
Insane. Yeah. So he asked me to do it. I'm like, I'm not really a roast guy. My crowd work, I like to, obviously do that. But like as a true like, that's all in the moment. And I feel but stand up there and whatever. And then I was like, if I could do it as a character, that'd be cool. So I'm coming off doing the Mad TV reboot on the CW. See it? Nobody did. And but I met the makeup gal there who did the original Mad TV. She did SNL 92 to 98. And so after the show, I was like, man, I love doing characters. Maybe we can find time to kind of do some prosthetic stuff. And she's like, of course, that sounds awesome. First thing we started doing with these during the pandemic, I was doing these live Dr. Phil shows, so I'd get in full Dr. Phil. And the mustache she used was Farley's DeBear's mustache from SNL that she holds on to. So I do all these live, I'd have Dana Carvey and Carolla and Joe McHale come on, and we do these live virtual shows, and everyone could buy tickets over Zoom. And I'm giving people advice. People, my son's in school, but he's in kindergarten, but he just doesn't like it. I'm like, well, he sounds like a fucking piece of shit, Sounds like he doesn't make enough choices. Sounds like his mom's kind of a whore too, and that's you, but that's who I'm talking to, And then I started doing this old man character, and I was like, I think I should do that for the roast. I'll be like an old Yankees fan roasting. So it was Burr.
That was you.
He literally was in like 2 weeks ago. Told us about this.
Oh yeah.
So
Holy
keep going.
Shit, yeah.
Oh yeah, dude. So that
I don't think he mentioned that it was you, but
he said it was
thanks
a
for the
comedian.
shout out, Josh.
Yeah, I don't think he said it was.
I mean,
yeah,
he must
no.
have.
There's. I mean, it was a wild night.
Continue.
So I don't know how much of the story he even told you. It was crazy. So we go to work out the jokes at Laugh Boston in Boston the night before, and there's Burr and Anthony Mackie and Pedroia and Gronk were there too on the roast day, and Sarah Tiana and Jonathan Coachman, and Burr's like, so you're gonna dress up like Babe Ruth or some shit? What the fuck are you gonna do? And I was like, you'll see, Bill. It's gonna be pretty cool. And so the next day, I get all the makeup, and I'm waiting in the lobby, walk over to House of Blues, and Burr's in the lobby. I'm like, oh, man, this guy was so skeptical. I got to go up. And I know Bill well enough, so I'm like, I got to go up and just, test it out. So I walk up, I go, Bill Burr. And he goes, hey, what's up, bud? I go, oh, I'm a big fan, man, big fan. I'm like 75-year-olds, like the age I was kind of playing, but she crushed it. I don't know. I'll show you pictures. The neck, I mean, it was bonkers, dude. Yeah. People could not tell it was me. Gronk thought I was all the way through the roast was like, who the fuck is this old guy? Right. Josh is like, it's my buddy Adam. He's 36, and he's like, get the fuck out of here. You couldn't tell. And so I was like, bro, I'm a big fan. He goes, I appreciate it, buddy. I go, I got some notes for your cartoon. I go, F is for family. I go, more like F is for fuck this. It's not that great. And he goes, hey, fuck you, buddy. I go, it's no Simpsons, I'll tell you that much. And he goes, hey, get the fuck out of here. I go, fuck you, Bill Burr. You're a real prick. And then he goes, Jesus Christ. I go, Bill, it's Adam. And he goes, wait, what? And I go, it's Adam Ray. And he just looks at me, and then sizes me up, and then just goes, what the fuck? And then he couldn't take his eyes off me all night because he was like, he was just like, amazed by all the makeup. Yeah. And then we get out there, and I mean, I'm ripping. I was doing jokes like, the Yankees have won, how many championships? 39 championships or something. I go, 39. I go, that's also the number of shitty dance moves Gronk does to impress a girl before he roofies her. And then I said, like, I go, Dustin Pedroia, we all know Dustin play, give it up for Dustin, he plays second base, but we all know his most natural position is dancing next to a pot of gold at the end of a rainbow. And I laid into Pedroia, like, probably a little too much, like so many short jokes.
Josh was saying. Josh was like, Pedroia was like, get this fucking guy out of here.
And I remember Gronk right before we went out was like, he's like, hey man, do you mind? Because I was like, hey man, I'm a comic, just doing this goof, and he's like, can I run some jokes by you? I go, yeah, for sure, man. And he goes, I want to do this joke right out of the gate about like taking a dump on Josh's wife's chest. Did he tell you that?
Yeah.
And I go, all right. I go, where's the joke? He goes, that's like. I come on, I'm like, I fucking took like a fucking hot dump on her, Gronk. He's just constantly, he's such a bro, dude. He couldn't stop fucking bouncing. Like he was just like, I'm a fucking, and which makes him so likable when he's like, he seems like a little kid that just, hasn't taken his meds, and he's just bouncing around. And I go, yeah, I mean, I don't know what the joke is, but like what? So, and I try to like, so now he's like, so you're the comic though, like. I'm like, so you're basically wanting me to like find a punchline for the shit on this guy's wife's chest? And I was like, I don't know. So I threw something out to him. And then he just went out there, and I go, I wouldn't open with it. I go, read the room. Maybe it's something you close with. And he straight up literally goes out there and just goes, Josh Wolf is here. And I was like, oh God. No. And by the way, I didn't tell Josh, and I looked over at him, and Josh started laughing. And I was like, sorry, man. I was like, I know what's about to come your way. And he does it, and it just gets like groans, and then Gronk just laughs, and in true Gronk fashion, just goes, fuck it, I thought it was funny.
Quick word from our boys over at Dave.com. I fucking wish Dave.com was around when I was in high school, when I was in college, when I was in my young 20s. It is such a savior. It is crazy. It's actually crazy it took this long for someone to come up with this idea, but it's incredible. If you're living paycheck to paycheck or struggling to make ends meet, it can be really stressful. It is so stressful when you don't have money. It is so stressful. But now, Dave can help you out when you're in a pinch and you really need it. Luckily, I have Dave Portnoy. You guys can have Dave.com. Dave is the banking app that can help you get up to $500 instantly with extra cash. That's money to fill your tank, buy a wedding gift, catch up on bills, whatever you need money for. There are no strings attached. Whatever you need to use the money for, you can use the money for. You can finally tackle those expenses that have been stressing you out without any hangups. Again, the stress is so... It weighs on you so heavily. Luckily, Dave can jump in for you. There's no interest, no credit check needed. Millions of people have downloaded the Dave app to get the financial relief that they need with extra cash. So if you're in a pinch and need some extra help, download Dave and think of it as a helping hand from future you. I love future me. Future me deals with all my problems. Future you, in this case, can help you out. Okay, download the Dave app from the App Store right now. That's DAVE. Sign up for an extra cash account and get up to $500 instantly, right away. That's what instantly means. For terms and conditions, go to dave.com/legal. Instant transfer fees apply. Banking provided by Evolve, member of FDIC. Future you is going to thank you. Dave, get the app.
It was amazing. And so now that old man character I actually just put out, if you guys look on YouTube, I made this like mockumentary called Tony Caruso is the name of the guy. And I did this he's 75, he took 20 years off of stand-up, and now he's come back. And so I run around town all around L.A. and did like one night in L.A. And it's a mockumentary. It's about 45 minutes, driving around town, talking to camera, almost like that Seinfeld doc I was talking about. Really inspired by that. Yeah. And it's pretty funny, man. So just type in Adam Ray Tony Caruso.
He was just saying how like people
that's crazy.
Were like, everybody was famous, and then there was just this old man who was like ripping people. And I think Pedroia said to him like, "Get this guy the fuck out of here." He's like, "Why was he invited?"
Who the fuck is this guy?
Poppy even, but Poppy was loving it. I mean, I think he like never drinks or never does edible. He was on it though, man. Like that's why Nesson unfortunately was supposed to air it.
We talked to them like I was like, dude. There's got to be a price you guys can pay to get this out because the way he talked, he was like, "It's fucking epic."
Bro, like Sarah Tiana was crushing. I mean, everybody. It was a roast. What happened is TMZ the next day put out, Gronk goes after blacks, Jews, and Dominicans at Big Poppy roast.
Well, I mean,
clickbait.
But it's also like, that guy's Jewish, that guy's black, that guy's
Thank
Dominican.
Thank you.
It's on a roast day.
Yeah. He went after the people that were there for a roast.
Yeah, that's annoying.
It was a bummer, bullshit, man.
But somehow, some way. Got to get that footage or
it would have been cool, man. Burr always says that to me too. He's like, it's a bummer they didn't air that. He's like, I feel like that would have, given you a little boost in some direction. I'm like, yeah, maybe. I mean, just for the sake of. What the fuck is that? Oh, it's Pedroia.
Yeah, no, we're recording. Frank.
What's up, Frank?
Oh, I just wanted to deliver this box to you.
What's up, Frank? What do we got in the box?
We are literally in the middle of the podcast, Frank.
Sorry about that. But this box is for you. You're gonna love this.
For me?
Well, it's for KFC.
Oh, great.
Kyle, it's for everybody. It's for
great.
everybody on You Gotta Believe.
Okay.
It's a bobblehead that plays Narco.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Awesome. Thank you, Frank.
Everyone who has got one, and there's a letter here.
Awesome.
God bless you. I thought it was going to be Dan Marino's head, the way you came in here with all this Dolphins swag.
He's a big Dolphins fan.
Are you a big Dolphins fan?
Yeah.
In Tua we trust?
Right now, certainly.
Fuck yeah, dude.
All right. Thank you, Frank.
Sorry about that.
No, it's all good, man.
Frank, I'll see you in the bathroom, bud.
That was cool.
Sweet guy. Awesome. No, dude, that's how, hey, man. But this adds to the fucking mystique and allure of your. I thought he was coming back in. It's like, Frank, dude, you're overstaying your welcome. That was awesome.
Did you see what he just came in?
Awesome.
He's just like in the middle of the.
But you know what though? Part of me, yeah, for sure, read the room. But also,
it's not.
I
mean, that was crazy.
Like even by Frank.
Well, no, but I love also the confidence of even when you like truly don't have enough space in my heart for Frank. When he comes in and you go, we're literally recording a show. He just goes, cool. So I got this box, but it was also
Well,
like,
usually
you're gonna
he's-
love. Like, I'm sorry to interrupt, but what's in this box is kind of worth stopping anything
I
for.
feel like, unless that was just like a big box of cash, I don't give a fuck what it is. He is.
How long's he been here?
Years now.
Yeah.
So Frank is the epitome of like the, I guess I hate to say the essence of Barstool Sports, but like 5
Say
years
it.
ago, he was just a regular guy. He was trying to get to the Mets game on opening day. New Jersey Transit was like a clusterfuck, and there was like a news whatever there talking about how there's been so many delays, and he went on this rant where he's like, I'm not gonna make it to the Mets game on time, I'm gonna miss the balloons, I'm gonna miss the anthem, they're incompetent, they're stupid, and it went viral, just being like this pure Mets fan who was so upset. And that apparently is all it takes to get you a job here. And ever since,
Wow.
Frank has just been he's one of the most negative Mets fans you'll ever meet. So me and him fucking
In a fun,
butt
funny way,
heads,
yeah.
and we were enemies. So I thought this was gonna be a bit. I
Yeah,
thought
yeah.
he was interrupting and being like, "Look at this," and it was.
By the
gonna
way,
be
I
like,
thought it was a bit.
Yeah, no,
because like
that's the
he's.
thing. Frank is just a giant bit.
I mean,
He's a human bit.
That's what I was saying. It's like he had like Guillermo and Kimmel vibes of like coming
Yeah.
in and just
No.
kind of when he wasn't supposed to, but it feels pre-planned.
Yeah, no, we don't do stuff like that. So I was
Frank,
like,
Frank
what?
is not great at picking up social cues.
Well, now guess what?
Like, whatever sickness you call that.
It's not his strong suit.
Frank isn't great.
Bro,
at
but
We
picking
were
who
doing
is, man?
pros and cons of Frank. Social cues is not one
He
of them.
didn't
He
walk.
knew at the end. He was like, I'm sorry for that.
He didn't walk in like he was going to sell some Plan B gummies. Like he was just like, you guys, I got a couple coats worthy of. Now there is something to be said about.
Yeah, show the fucking bobblehead, man.
By the way, if this part of the show you see like a boost in numbers, every episode Frank needs to come in with a box, almost Pee Wee's Playhouse style.
What's in the box? I mean, it sounds cool as far as bobbleheads go. It plays Narco. Yeah, but it plays Narco, man. I've never had a bobblehead that plays music. Grab the note too. I want to see who it's from. If it's like from, it's gotta be like from the Mets, no?
What if it's Anthrax?
Imagine that. Oh, this is fucking.
Oh, it's just a fucking.
some Foco.
Oh, okay. Oh, this is gonna make a mess.
Yeah, let me stop.
Let's
This is-
fucking see
What a
what's in
generous
the box,
guy.
Frank.
You win.
We gotta get this bobblehead.
Oh, you gotta put it together. All right.
Oh, great.
It's a whole thing.
Okay, great. Great. And I'm sure there's no fucking batteries in it, so I'm sure I can't even hear.
You broke it.
I broke it. Yep. and I
Oh
broke
my
it.
God!
And I
Don't
broke
tell
it.
him.
And it's broken.
No, I mean, like you
God.
really
I literally
broke
broke
it.
it.
Yeah, you
Oh
really broke it.
shit! Don't tell him. He'll be heartbroken. Oh my God! You guys are assholes. Fuck.
The fucking,
there you go.
Oh God! Oh God!
so yeah, the leg, the head. If this isn't
Oh,
a bad omen,
Frank.
I don't know
Yeah,
what is. God damn it, Frank! Fucking, you strike again, Fleming. You strike again.
Oh shit! Oh, it's an Edwin
Unbelievable.
Diaz.
Yeah, we are.
You're welcome,
I
man.
am
Thanks
a-
for taking him off our Mariners' hands.
Bro, you
I
know
mean, he's a beast, dude. I mean,
yeah, he fucking
that worked out.
big time
Right?
for everybody.
You're pumped.
$125 million for him. Fucking hell yeah, everybody's happy. All right, man. Well,
Is that it?
yeah, we're gonna go next door. We're gonna shoot.
great.
We got another video to shoot if you don't mind.
Yeah, please. Yeah.
But tell the people what tickets and shows. And
Yeah,
everything.
AdamRayComedy.com for all the tour dates. I'll be back in New York. I'm gonna open for my buddy at Carnegie Hall in I think January 14th. But it's not a comedy show. It's a he's Joey McIntyre from New Kids on the Block.
Oh, yeah,
shit.
yeah.
He's doing a just a
What's
playing.
the connection there?
We met on The Heat, it's, Paul Feig movie, Sandra Bullock, Melissa McCarthy.
yeah.
I played the bad guy in that.
Know it well.
Yeah.
Oh, cool, yeah. So I played the bad guy in that. Became homies with all. I mean, Sandra's done my pod a couple times.
Nice.
Check that out about last night. Melissa's done it 5 or 6 times. Paul just did it. The first day of shooting, I met Rappaport. And,
Fuck Rappaport.
and Mag McDonald, and then became friends with Joe at the premiere. It was out here in New York, and I was like, man, this could be the last thing I ever do. I'm staying at this thing, the big movie premiere, New York, club, restaurant. I was like, I'm going to close this thing down. So it was myself, Allison Jones, the casting director, her niece and nephew, my buddy from 5th grade who drove up from D.C. Joey Mack was there, and then Ben Affleck was there, and hammered, and but kind. And we all kind of were shooting the shit. And then I went up to Joey. I was like, I'm about to be in Seattle next week doing shows, and I'm going to bring my sister to your show. Any way I could bring her, like, back, and blah, blah. And he was like, buddy, don't even get tickets. I fucking got you, blah, blah, blah. Big comedy fan. I mean, dude.
So this is New Kids or
New
him?
Kids.
Solo. Okay.
This is Joey, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So he's doing just a full, musical. I mean, he'll probably do some. There'll probably be some surprises, whether it's the guys or not. But
Those guys, man.
they still rip it. I went on 2 of their concert cruises opening for them.
It's
Really?
funny because
Oh my God,
when
crazy.
they did like New Kids plus Backstreet Boys
Yeah.
together for a while.
Yeah.
And we all had some fun poking fun at like them trying to still do the dance.
Sure,
and all that
sure.
shit. But I'm like, man, you know what most guys their age look like or cannot do? Like,
Oh, yeah.
if you put another 50-year-old guy up there and said, here's the dance routine,
Yeah.
do it for 25 songs, fucking 10 nights in a row, those guys would be in the hospital.
Dude, they still fucking rip it.
They
Dude,
go
They did
off.
Fenway. They did Fenway,
they,
bro.
No, they sell
I went
out.
to it. It was bonkers.
And they
Yeah,
go
you were Fenway?
hard.
Oh, it was insane. It was.
And they know they're like I feel like they know what they are. They're a boy band that's old now and they have fun
Totally.
with it. It's like
anyone can air fuck the crowd, but can you do it in rhythm? And can you do it like where it looks clean?
Yeah,
Any of us to stand up right now, if you put on a song and try to do it, you'd be like, dude, you're gonna have to fill out some paperwork.
No way. Yeah.
But they,
and it's one thing when you're a teenage heartthrob because all you got to do is look at the camera and be like,
Yeah.
and the girl's like, ah.
Bro.
When you're 50 and you're still doing that, like, but you got to do it the
Totally.
right way so it's still funny.
Totally.
And,
And
not
you're right though,
creepy
keeping
and-
yourself like, and Joe does a great job of it. Like keep, vocally, you're in shape, and then, fuck man, I mean you're right. Like they don't. These cruises were bonkers. I mean, it's 3,000
It's just chicks. who are
women, just
fucking-
from
yeah.
all ages. I mean, I had a 72-year-old woman on the Lido deck one night. It was the last night before we went back, and everyone just stays up, taking
72,
shots
you
of
said?
tequila. Yeah, and she's out there, and she goes, I saw your friends with the band. I go, oh, yeah? And she goes, that's pretty cool. Saw you doing stand-up for them. That's cool. You must know them all really well. I go, yeah, I do. She goes, I've been on 15 cruises in a row. I go, that's incredible. You deserve a record. She goes, I deserve more than that. And then she goes, I'm going to make a deal with you. You show me where Donnie Wahlberg's sleeping, and I'll fuck him for you. I was like, have you ever negotiated before? What do I get out of this? And she was like, I'll let you smell my fingers. I was like, no, she didn't say that. But she was like, they're all that diehard, where it was like, hey, man, give me some access. Oh, it was unbelievable. It was like truly about a half hour before we docked. Because that last night, they do a party and then everyone just stays up. Because the party
Right.
ends at 2 and you dock at like 5.
Right. And that's also when you got to throw your Hail Marys. Like, I thought I was going to
Oh,
fuck Donnie on the first night, but it's, the clock is ticking. I only got a
The
couple
clock is
hours
ticking
left.
in life and on this cruise.
Yeah.
But yeah,
That's
so I'll be back
hilarious.
in January for that, and then 2023 tour is pretty extensive. So AdamRayComedy.com for that podcast about last night. Again, Burr's been on it, Sandra Bullock, Jason Derulo,
Jason Derulo.
Susan Sarandon, Derulo, and then Young Rock Fridays on NBC. Welcome to Chippendales comes out on Hulu November 22nd. I think
Man,
that's it
busy
for now,
dude,
man.
bro.
Yeah.
Fucking congratulations.
Dude,
That's all
big
awesome
fan.
stuff.
I mean, this is a real treat. I'm not even kidding, man. Like, haven't been this excited to do a hang in a while. So
Great.
you guys are
Dude,
ripping it.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Make sure you subscribe to KFC Radio on YouTube to get all the video content. Subscribe, comment, like, and make sure you turn on the bell notifications so you know whenever new video content drops.
I want to say something, but the video has to be faster. That's it.